All right, let's still stay on this and find out if there's a second opinion to this call for economic war room. We're right here in the studio, even though it's more from the legal part. Mr. Taye Awofinroye, he is a managing partner at the Trusted Advisors. You're welcome, Mr. Awofinroye, to the program. I'm sure you heard a bit of that, talking about the tariffs. And, well, there Dr. Abiy was asking that Nigeria should build or create an economic war room to be able to maximize and manage the consequences as well as opportunities that may come out of this ongoing trade war, especially now between the U.S. and China. But what are your views about how, where we are as a country amidst all of this?
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here, and the topic can come at a better time than now. I would like to preface my, my thought with the line that Trumpism is not the genesis of our problem as a nation.
Did you call him Trumpism?
The whole movement.
Okay, it's called Trumpism. Yeah, I mean,
that's how
what
people.
That's
a term.
Okay, so
that
it's Trumpism.
Trumpism, yeah. So it's not the beginning or the end of our problem, but again, like every major development, it comes with opportunities and the threats that it presents. So what naturally, what we should do as a nation is to do a bit of inquest into how we got here in the first place. Nigeria has been a very promising economy for the longest time we know. But if you look at the components that actually constitute the promises, have we really realized the full potentials of what we, what we bring, to the committee? Now, the agenda of the government didn't start today. That's the protection of certain sectors of the economy, like the manufacturing, the agriculture, which is now attracting some retaliation from the government. The government of the United States. But do we really see opportunities there? I will concur with the previous guest, your last guest, that the country can actually take full advantage of what is going on. But I differ on the approach, to actually harness the opportunity. You're not going to go to war with America over, your attempt to protect sectors of your economy. When you read, their trade office saying that what you've done has impact on our export business, it's an advantage. It's something that you can go to the table with to negotiate. Now, President Trump has, paused, the tariff. It means they are open for negotiation. It means they are open for talk. I think Nigeria has enough issues to deal with that you don't want to be in the forefront of a battle. China will survive. China, whether whatever exchange they have, China has the wherewithal to, take the shot. Does Nigeria have that? I doubt that, considerably. We have a flow. There is, a surplus, between the trade, the balance of trade between Nigeria and the U.S. favors the U.S. So if there is a shutdown, they know there is a loss to their side. But this is a country we depend on for one or two things. So we will, readily project something around a deal being done. You felt the pain point. Then you come to the table and see how you use it as an anchor to bring foreign direct investment. So if you want to import your agricultural produce into Nigeria, can we have a deal where you invest X number of dollars in this economy? We are on a path to exit dependency on imports. Can you help us get there? Thank you. Can you help us get there? Maybe you have a 5-year, agreement, an 8-year agreement. It's what nations of the world do. I'm happy, your previous guest mentioned diplomacy, but diplomacy and war, in my own world, they are two polar opposites. So, yes, there's a lot of opportunities there, but the path to that deal being struck is negotiation, which, President Trump has already signaled
You think
intention.
the pause is for negotiation, so perhaps Nigeria should also withdraw their statements of banning the exports there? Is that what you think?
So for the ban, the journey, we have legitimate reason to ban, because you have an unfairly disadvantaged local industry. And this journey of banning poultry and the rest of it didn't start with this administration. It's been a part of our, movement. So even under the WTO arrangement, a nation reserves the right to protect its own economy. So to the extent that I don't think we should do a reversal, but I do think we should start talking. They've, said what they want to say. We can also express our concern.
What should we be saying?
We need a buoyant economy. We need a self-dependent, economy.
But that takes a while to build.
So that's why we negotiate a deal with them. We need to, yes, the journey may see us lifting the ban. But if we are going to allow you come back to the market, then we need to see X number of investment in our, say, agro-processing or, poultry farming or pharmaceutical industries, which are key areas that these things have actually impacted. We've seen how importation has killed so many industries in Nigeria. Talk about textile, manufacturing, so if you're trying to reverse it, certain people will get hurt. Now, it's how you balance, your need with their needs, in this case, as two nations, at the table. That's what will determine the future of, that relationship.
So I hear you talk about trade talks and negotiations, and the U.S. obviously knows that Nigeria also has, even if a little bit of edge, that they can affect their supplies and their consumer prices. But we've had all of these advantages, but it does seem like we're not able to put it together or present a united front, even as a country. Because, sometimes you hear of one government agency is aiming to increase revenue for the government, another is aiming to attract investment, which hurts, So sometimes it does seem that way. And so we're not able to make the most of the advantages that we could have, even, with the U.S. at this time. So what do you think can be different? I guess that's why Dr. Abi was saying a war room, economic war room. So that way you bring everybody together, every part is represented, and then we can now have a united front, even when we're having these talks.
So, thank you for, the insight, but you see, the problem with the cohesion problem in Nigeria runs deeper than that. It's beyond interagency inconsistency. It's a system-wide inconsistency. I just read yesterday how, thankfully the Naira for crude, situation has been reversed.
We hope so, because what we hear is that the talks are on.
Well, I think I saw the headline where the government said it's here indefinitely. Hopefully.
Yes.
But that is one symptom of what is wrong with us as a nation. You have, an agenda to substitute, import of, finished petroleum product with, local, supplies. Any sane system will put everything on hold to support that, right? But you have interagency issues coming to the fore to frustrate, borderline frustrated. Now, I think we need to rejig ourselves as a people. The agencies are not manned by ghosts. and the statements coming from those agencies are from Nigerians. The totality of our approach needs cohesion, but it's not just, it goes beyond just creating a war room where this ministry is saying this and the next ministry is saying that. We need to ask ourselves the very truth. One of the key things I actually admire about this particular administration is for the first time in a long while, it looks like, right or wrong, we are taking a position, right? And if you don't, if you don't take a position, right, you will never be right or wrong. That's the truth. Now, what I see with this administration is we're trying to focus more on infrastructure, right? Create more access. If that is all we do and we get the power situation right in the country, Nigeria has enough within this country to actually galvanize. And until you have strength to actually sit at the table, even if you have interagency, collaboration, which thankfully you have the Business Facilitation Act, which has amended quite a number of, these principal statutes and has made it, sort of commercialized in a way, the operations of most of these MDAs. For the first time, you have innovations in the Act which says you must have a service level agreement that guides your operation. So it's just like their service providers to, the users like us. That is a good step. I've not seen any of them publish it, but the Act, provides for it. If we have those organic guidance within the agency, it's a lot easier to see them reconcile, as opposed to this DG is here today is saying one thing, and another DG comes there tomorrow and is saying this, another thing. The whims and caprices seems to govern how these MDAs currently operate. But having a sort of Bible in the form of, the service level agreement and the codes of, practice that guide them will tame those whims and caprices.
And to ensure that not just having the Bible to guide, but there's also an assurance that they follow the Bible, the letters of the Bible.
So the Act also prescribes some punitive.
Yeah, which we hardly see.
Which we hardly see.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you so much, Mr. Taya Wofinoye, a managing partner at The Trusted Advisors.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure to be here.
Great.